From WNDU, your breaking news and weather authority, this is NewsCenter 16 at 11.
High anxiety. An explosion and fire inside a Michiana grain elevator critically injures 2 people. Truck stop. Thanks to modern technology, 3 stolen trucks laden with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of tires were intercepted by police in Michigan City. Great debate, perhaps the largest TV audience ever for a presidential debate, tuned in tonight for the clash between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Good evening, I'm Terry McFadden. We'll have those stories in a moment, but first, breaking news out of Elkhart tonight, where an Amber Alert out of Fort Wayne has had a profoundly tragic ending. NewsCenter 16 Shaun Gallagher is standing by live outside of police headquarters in Elkhart. Shaun?
Yeah, Terry, absolutely tragic end to this story. It was just around 5:30 that Amber Alert was ended, and that's because these 2 children were found dead. I'm joined now by Sergeant Chris Snyder with the Elkhart Police. And Sergeant Snyder, we were just talking, this is a very strange end to this as well with how you guys found this situation.
Very strange, very sad for all those involved. I mean, obviously there's family members of the 2 children who are involved, as well as the police officers that came across this.
Yeah, and the officer that found this, I mean, the mother flagged him down, correct?
Yeah, that's what the reports are right now, is that he was leaving. He was actually done working for the day, and he was crossing Marion Street back here to get to his car to go home when she stopped him and explained to him that there were 2 deceased children in the back of her car.
Yeah, and did she show remorse, fear, anything like that you can say from this point?
I don't know what her condition was at the time. She appeared to be relatively cooperative at that time with the police. So right now she's currently being detained until we can further investigate to figure out exactly what happened.
And these 2 children in the back of the car, while we can't confirm that they are the 2 children from earlier, you guys do no reason to believe otherwise right now?
That's correct. Yeah, there's no reason to believe otherwise. Obviously, it'll be up to the coroner to determine the cause of death and the manner of death, and to positively identify who the 2 children are.
And kind of talk to me a little bit about the strangeness of this, that the officer, he was just going off work. I mean, that seems pretty strange to me.
Yeah, it's very unusual. Oftentimes we'll have people stop and, say thank you for what we do, or ask for directions. It's not a real well-traveled road, but people will stop here and ask for directions to different places. So he was taken a little bit off guard and caught a little bit of surprise exactly with what happened when she told him what the nature of her stopping was for. So he's a little bit shaken up, as are a lot of us. This isn't something that we deal with. Obviously, anytime we have to deal with the death of children, it's rough on all of us.
And maybe a little bit too early to tell here, but any idea what happened to these kids? Were they dead before they arrived here in Elkhart?
We don't know exactly where they died or what led to their death. That's something that's undergoing the investigation right now. We are working with Allen County Sheriff's Department so that they can give us a little bit of background on what they have from what information they've been able to gather, which led them to initiate the Amber Alert, and then trying to work through that process to figure out exactly how they got to Elkhart, why they came to Elkhart, and then exactly where the death occurred and how that death occurred.
All right, Sergeant Snyder, thank you very much for meeting with us tonight. Obviously, very tragic end to this tragic story. And Terry, the mother is in prison right now. She is being detained until this investigation continues further.
All right, and Shaun, we will be checking back in with you for an update later on in this newscast. Now, to recap what happened here today, police say a woman named Amber Pastor pulled up to an Elkhart police officer at the police station this afternoon, driving a car matching the description of the vehicle in an Amber Alert that was issued earlier today. Now, she pulled up around 5:30. Police found 2 children dead in the back seat of that car. Police believe the 2 children are 7-year-old Lilia Hernandez and 6-year-old Renee Pastor. Now, the county coroner will identify them tomorrow, as well as conduct an autopsy. The Amber Alert regarding the children was issued again just before 1 p.m. out of Allen County in the Fort Wayne area. The pair was believed to be abducted by their mother, the woman who pulled up to the police station. Police are now investigating to learn more about these deaths. And again, Shaun Gallagher will rejoin us shortly with an update on this sad and developing story. Now to news in South Bend. Metro homicide detectives are looking for the person who shot and killed a man in South Bend today. The shooting happened behind a home in the 1200 block of Cedar Street on the northeast side of South Bend at around 2:45 this afternoon. Police found a young man's body in the alley between Cedar and Minor. That man, believed to be in his late teens or early 20s, was identified by family, but so far police are not releasing his name. Neighbors say they heard a series of gunshots followed by the sound of someone running through the yard trying to get away.
And then I got some more texts telling me that it was a house behind Minor, and so then my heart just dropped. And once I knew where my boys were and that they were okay, then I just took my time coming home, and I didn't even know if I was going to be able to get home. So yeah, I got here and saw everything, and it's just unfortunate. It's really unfortunate.
Metro homicide detectives are interviewing neighbors and witnesses, but so far do not have a description of whoever pulled the trigger. Crews investigating a grain elevator explosion in Pulaski County say they didn't find any explosive particles in the air above. An elevator at Tate and Lyle in Francisville exploded around 2 this afternoon. Officials say 2 people were badly burned. One was flown to the hospital in critical condition, the other in serious condition. 2 other people inside the building weren't hurt. Now, part of the structure collapsed, preventing first responders from going inside.
One of the things you want to do is not make the situation worse. And that's why, after initially getting all kinds of resources on scene, ladder trucks from 2 different departments, dozens of tankers, we decided to just stand down because there's no imminent threat to anybody. So we could actually make the situation worse by getting there, digging around. So that's why we decided to wait.
And they will head inside tomorrow morning to investigate further. Police arrested 2 men after 3 trucks carrying almost $500,000 worth of tires were taken from South Bend businesses. Now, the thieves stole the 3 trucks this morning, but didn't disable the GPS trackers inside of them. Police caught up with them in Michigan City. They arrested 2 men after a chase through some woods, but police believe there are more suspects, so officers are keeping their eyes open. Investigators think the thieves were heading to Chicago to try to sell the tires and then ditch the trucks. Road resurfacing work that was set to close a major Michiana junction will now be done next year. Crews were scheduled to close the Exit 72 interchange tomorrow. That's where the toll road meets the bypass just west of South Bend. But there were concerns the work wouldn't be done by the next Notre Dame home game, which would make things a real headache for those driving in to watch the Fighting Irish. Toll road officials decided to play it safe and push the work back until 2017. Well, things are finally starting to feel like fall. And Mike, big question, will we be needing a jacket when we head out in the morning?
I think a lot of people will, Terry. There's no doubt it's turning chilly out there. If you've been out just within the past couple of hours, we've already seen low to mid 50s, and I'm expecting 49 degrees at 8 a.m. Some folks might even go to 46, 47 for the low, but we'll be back into the mid 60s as we head through the day. I think partly to mostly sunny skies will be the rule, but we will start to see some increasing clouds, especially in our northern counties during the afternoon hours. We'll let you know when the rain returns to Michiana because it's definitely coming. I'll show you the 7-day coming up.
Thank you, Mike. And you just saw right here on NBC the showdown everyone's been waiting for, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump's first debate. Steve Handelsman has a recap.
A hug but no kiss, and with maybe 100 million U.S. voters watching, the debate got tough. First on taxes.
But I'm going to cut taxes, big league.
I call it trumped up, trickle down.
Costing jobs, Clinton charged.
Slashing taxes on the wealthy hasn't worked.
All talk, no action. Sounds good, doesn't work, never going to happen. Our country is suffering because people like Secretary Clinton have made such bad decisions.
I have a feeling that by the end of this evening, I'm going to be blamed for everything that's ever happened.
Why not?
Why?
Clinton blamed Trump for not releasing tax returns.
Maybe he's not as rich as he says he is. Second, maybe he's not as charitable as he claims to be.
He blamed her for private State Department emails.
Okay, that was not a mistake. That was done purposely.
More battling on crime and race. Trump backing a return to stop and frisk by police.
It worked very well in New York, but stop and frisk had a tremendous impact on the safety of New York City.
Clinton charging Trump mistreated black tenants and the first black president.
So he has a long record of engaging in racist behavior.
Tough and personal and risky by both candidates.
Steve Handelsman reporting. Governor Mike Pence and Tim Kaine will face off a week from tomorrow in the first vice presidential debate.
More to come on NewsCenter 16.
Officials in Elkhart unveiled their strategy for sprucing up the city's green spaces. Learn what parks will get some nice upgrades. Plus, one developer has an appetizing proposal for the Newman Center. Hear how they want to turn the old recreation facility into a lively food and drink space.
I'm Angelo DiCarlo. The Marlins dealing with tragedy coming off the death of pitcher Jose Fernandez. And what a moment in Miami tonight as they honored him with a leadoff home run. We'll show you the incredible scene coming up.
And the clear skies we're seeing out there right now will not last through the week. I'll show you when the clouds and rain returns coming up next.
You're watching WNDU, your breaking news and weather authority. NewsCenter 16 at 11. Tracking severe weather right down to where you live. Storm Team 16 is your weather authority.
It definitely wasn't chilly today, but there's no question there was just a touch of fall out there. High temperature didn't even quite hit 70 here, up to 69 degrees. It was going to be a lot chillier, obviously, if the clouds had stuck around, but we didn't expect them to. Once the sun came out, then we did almost get to 70. Most areas off to the south and west of us did make it into the low to mid 70s, but to the north, low to mid 60s pretty much ruled. And some of that's going to be coming our way because this big rotating pinwheel of a storm system up over the northern Great Lakes, the cold front brought us the rain. That's now almost to the east coast, or at least it's past the Appalachians. But this storm system is going to stall out. It actually has stalled out, and it's going to start to inch its way southward, as you'll see on Future Track coming up. And that means the clouds and rain will return to Michiana, but not for tonight and not for the day tomorrow. You can see it's nice and dry out there at the moment. 54 degrees in downtown South Bend, a pretty picture there of the river lights. And as you can see with the rest of the numbers, only 57% relative humidity. That's pretty low for that number right there of 54 degrees. Winds are southwesterly at 8 miles per hour. Temperatures across the region, just about everybody has fallen into the 50s, although Akron just barely, but you will notice Benton Harbor at 65 degrees. I'm not sure why Michigan City's 54, but you know, a lot of times in this situation, you folks along the lakeshore will actually be warmer than inland because this time of the year, the water is relatively warm compared to the to inland areas. But Michigan City's temperature must be just far enough away from the lake there, not getting that effect. So here's what the future looks like with 16 Future Track. There's the big system. And you'll notice it starts to slowly move southward. The clouds always dissipate a little bit during the night, and then they will start to bubble up again tomorrow. We'll see those clouds do the same thing. Watch the time under the line. Showers almost make it into our northern areas. In fact, Future Track showing northern Berrien getting perhaps a shower by late in the afternoon, 7 p.m. tomorrow. Actually, that's getting toward evening this time of the year. And as you watch the time under the line, we continue to see those showers move farther and farther southward, so into northern Indiana by midnight. And then it's widespread rain, especially north and west, as we head toward the morning hours on Wednesday. And I think Wednesday is just going to be cloudy with occasional light rain. We might not even hit 60 degrees on Wednesday, depending on whether we get any sunshine at all. Then you'll notice the storm system kind of tracks southward. Then it starts to meander a little bit. It moves east for a little while. Then it moves south again, starts to throw back some more moisture, and that means another chance for some showers on into Thursday. This thing could actually keep our slight chance of showers on into at least Saturday, the way it's looking. It's just going to kind of meander through the Ohio Valley. Here's my Storm Team 16 forecast for all of Michiana for tonight. Mostly clear and crisp overnight. Low temperature down to 48. Don't think I've used that word in at least 6 months or so. There's my 7-day planning forecast. We'll start with the day tomorrow. Nice green day, lots of sunshine. It will turn breezy again, but increasing clouds toward dinner time. High of 67 degrees. For Wednesday, then, showers around really off and on all day long. It'll remain chilly as well. 61 degrees will be the high. And another yellow day on Thursday with a decent chance for some showers, especially through the middle and latter parts of the day into the afternoon hours. And as we take a look at the rest of the 7-day planning forecast, you can see, we lower the chances for some rain showers as we head into Saturday, but they're still there. And then it looks partly sunny for Sunday and Monday, with temperatures finally back into the lower 70s, and the 16-day outlook showing temperatures rebounding the first few days of October there, at least through the 4th, 5th, and 6th, with temperatures back into the 70s. There will be some more chances for showers as well. So a couple of things. I don't see any more 80s coming at this point, and I don't see any chance of frost yet, which is always good.
All right. Crisp fall days, as they say.
Crisp. Yeah.
There you go. Mike, thanks. Coming up, an update on that breaking news out of Elkhart with Shaun Gallagher. Stay with us. Now an update to that breaking news out of Elkhart we first brought you at the top of the show. A woman pulls up in the late afternoon to the Elkhart Police Department with 2 small dead children in her car and basically alerts police that they're there. Shaun Gallagher joins us live. And Shaun, these 2 young children, their mother and an older man, were the subject of an Amber Alert out of the Fort Wayne area in Allen County earlier today.
Yeah, that's right, Terry. That was just before 1 p.m. that police said to be on the lookout for a gold mercury containing these children. And that gold mercury is believed to be right here behind this police cruiser that you see behind me. Police still investigating to get more information about what happened today. And those 2 children that they found inside, Liliana Hernandez, 7 years old, and Renee Pastor, 6 years old. Now, this is a very strange scenario that's happened. The mother, Amber Pastor, around 5:30 this evening, flagged down an Elkhart police officer who was finishing his shift. Now, she stopped him and said that she had 2 bodies in her car. Very strange scenario where the cop then identified that these children were back there, and that's where we stand right now. Now, police cannot confirm that these 2 children are in fact the 2 children that we're looking for, but as Sergeant Chris Snyder said earlier in this broadcast, they have no reason to believe otherwise. And Amber Pastor is being arrested on 2 counts of murder. Chris Snyder did tell me that a little while ago, and we are still waiting for him to release more information on that. But again, police on scene still doing a lot of investigating into this car that is still parked right behind the Elkhart police station. And that's where Amber Pastor did flag down a police officer earlier this evening. Terry?
And we believe these are her children, right, Shaun?
Correct.
Now, I recall when earlier today that Amber Alert came out, besides Ms. Pastor, there was a gentleman named Frank McComber, who I believe might have been like in his 70s, who police believe she was traveling with. He apparently was not with them. Do we have any idea where this man is and what his possible role in all of this was?
Terry, at this point, no. I believe he's in his mid-60s, but no word on where he is now, and police are searching for him at this moment.
All right, Shaun Gallagher with an update, reporting live tonight on this horrible breaking news out of Elkhart tonight. Shaun, thanks.
As we go to great cities across our country, they have great parks.
Well, Elkhart wants to be one of those cities, and some planned improvements should go a long way toward getting them there. Now, today, city officials cut the ribbon at one brand new playground and unveiled plans for similar upgrades at 3 other parks. This is the state-of-the-art play area at Langle Park, the first of its kind in the city. All the work was done by the city's Buildings and Grounds Department. City leaders don't mind the cost of the upgrades because they'll help make Elkhart more family-friendly.
It is definitely an investment in kids, and it's an amenity for our great city.
Anytime you can have something positive for children or kids to be involved in, especially something that's open like this for kids and parents to enjoy, or a place where parents can watch their kids play, I think it's a positive impact for the city.
The upgrades at Langle complete the first phase of the city's plans. In the next 6 months, Edgewater Park will get a new playground, McNaughton Park will get a new playground and some pickleball courts, and High Dive Park will get pickleball courts and a new dog park. Here in South Bend, a local developer has pledged to spend up to $3 million to rehab and reopen South Bend's old Newman Center. The aging structure on the riverfront behind Farmers Market was closed years ago and had been targeted for demolition by the city. A proposed development plan calls for a winery to locate there, along with a commercial commissary kitchen.
A shared-use commercial kitchen be used by food entrepreneurs in the community, people who are producing food for resale, people who are on food trucks and need a central commissary.
The idea there is for, a lively, thriving space is how I would probably best describe it, that's going to be utilized for various purposes and by various groups.
The developer plans to invest up to $3 million, while the city is being asked to provide $500,000 for the project. The proposal goes before the City Redevelopment Commission at Thursday's meeting. A day after the tragic death of one of their most beloved teammates, the Marlins took the field with heavy hearts tonight. See how they honored Jose Fernandez coming up in sports.
NewsCenter 16 Sports with Angelo DiCarlo.
We're going to find a way to do this, all right? That's all, guys. We're going to find it, all right? Let's go. Let's go.
Early Sunday morning, Jose Fernandez, one of baseball's top pitchers, was killed in a boating accident. He was just 24 years old. His death during the season, during the early stages of an incredible career and the start of his adult life, so heart-wrenching. Tonight, the Marlins took the field for the first time since Fernandez died. They all wore Fernandez 16 jerseys. His number 16 will be retired. How about this scene before the game where D. Gordon brought Fernandez glove and hat and a ball to place on the mound. And then you flash forward a few hours, and Gordon was at the plate, the first batter of the game, when this incredible moment happened.
Gordon to right, it's deep, and it's gone! D. Gordon has hit it out, and the Marlins have a 1-0 lead.
What a moment, what an incredible scene of emotion. D. Gordon, his teammates, all crying. So intense, so therapeutic, I imagine, for these players. The Marlins went on to win the game 7-3. Pittsburgh native Arnold Palmer, meanwhile, died Sunday when he was honored before tonight's Pirates-Cubs game in Pittsburgh. Kyle Hendricks pitching well again. One of his 5 strikeouts, gave up no runs in 6 innings of work. His ERA now 1.99. Bases loaded in the 4th for Javi Baez, and he drills the grand slam. Cubs take the 5-0 lead, and they really had the bats going in this one. Runner on for Chris Bryant. Bryant hits his 39th homer, and RBI's number 100 and 101. And later, Baez driving in 2 more runs. He had 6 RBI tonight, and the Cubs cruise to the 12-2 win. In Detroit, the Tigers hosting the Indians early in the game. Coco Crisp at the plate on a beautiful night in Detroit. And Chris going to take the pitch, and he's going to absolutely drill this one. A 2-run homer that puts the Indians out to the 2-0 lead in the 2nd inning. And then we move ahead. J.D. Martinez in the bottom half. He pulls this game even at 2 with a 2-run homer of his own, his 22nd homer of the season. Tied at 2 in the 5th inning. Jason Kipnis coming to the plate, and he's finding real estate out in left center. The Indians take the lead, and Cleveland wins this one 7-4, and the celebration is on for the Indians. They are Central Division champions, clinching tonight in Detroit. And that'll do it for sports.
All right. Anj, thanks a lot. Still ahead, one man braves some churning currents to help save a deer in distress. We'll take you over to the Hawkeye State. Chad pulled it off. An Iowa man risked his life to jump in a raging river to save a drowning deer. Heavy rains caused this river in Waterloo to swell. Deer hopped in the water but was no match for the powerful currents. Ended up stuck near a bridge and was fading fast, so one man, with the help of some others, donned a life jacket, tied himself to a rail, and you know the rest. He went in. He boosted the animal up, and the others hoisted the deer to safety. They then loaded the deer into a truck, took it to some nearby woods, and set it free.
Really neat.
That's awesome.
Uplifting story
Yeah,
in more
no
ways
doubt
than
about
one.
it. Yep. We're going to have some rain coming back to our area, but nothing too heavy like that. But starting tomorrow night and Wednesday, it'll be raining off and on. And look at the high on Wednesday, just 61. We might not even hit that. We might stay in the upper 50s, but we will slowly warm up back into the low 70s by the time we get to early next week. But all of those chances for rain there from the same stalled out storm system.
All right, Mike. That'll do it for NewsCenter 1611. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.